You want to win more matches in singles? When your opponent comes to the net, make them volley. You've got to involve them in the point. Don't avoid them. When you involve them, you win. Now, this video is courtesy of the Hendy League in Atlanta, Georgia. They live stream their matches. You got to subscribe to their awesome channel. I have put their link in the description below. There's such a valuable lesson to be learned here in these 2 points that I just showed you. And it's so simple. When your opponent comes to the net, you have a decision to make. Are you going to involve them in the point, or are you going to avoid them? So let's check out Ajinkya. He comes to the net, and we got Jimmy the Wall. I love all the names, by the way. In this league, like many of the players, Moses the Prophet, Jimmy the Wall, it's so funny. It's like you could definitely get behind these players because they have little personalities to them, and it's a really cool league in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in that area, definitely check them out. Maybe you see if they have any spots for you to join. But one thing you see here is when Ajinkya comes to the net, there are really 4 decisions that you could make, right? You could hit a passing shot down the line. Now his name's Jimmy the Wall. He's probably not going for ripping passing shots, but you've got a down the line pass. You've got a cross court pass. You've got a lob. Like those 3 are avoiding the opponent. Or you could just hit it right to the opponent, low preferably, which is what he does to Ajinkya. He gives Ajinkya a low ball. But then even right here, Jimmy's running off the court, and what does he do? He makes Ajinkya volley. Now, incidence equals reflection. It's pretty easy to miss this volley if you don't take into consideration the angle at which the ball's coming in order to hit it straight ahead. And that would mean you'd actually have to point your string slightly this way to get the ball to go like this. But he has his racket. He has his racket pointing forward, so the ball goes like this. And again, this is not saying anything about Ajinkya. This is just the quality of the strategy that Jimmy had to force Ajinkya to have to volley. And what happens? His ball lands in no man's land. And something very similar happens just 2 points later. Here comes Ajinkya, and Jimmy is nowhere to be found. It looks like Ajinkya is just by himself on the court, but the ball is coming at an angle, and Ajinkya doesn't quite get the angle of his racket correct. And what happens is Ajinkya volleys into no man's land, or into the doubles alley. Now, before all the commenters say, I would never miss this ball, I think I've definitely learned that recreational tennis players who comment on YouTube videos have this idea that they're about 7 levels higher than they actually are. Look, all players, even pros, miss what seem to be really easy shots. The idea is this, and it's definitely not to pick on Ajinkya, because I want Ajinkya to hit the ball right to Jimmy and let Jimmy miss easy volleys, or what seems to be easy volleys. The idea is really simple. When you are in Jimmy's position and your opponent comes to the net, don't avoid them with some screaming down the line, cross court lob on the baseline type of shot. Just make the opponent hit the volley. Yes, will you lose most of these points? Sure. But believe it or not, you're going to win a higher percentage than if you try to hit a passing shot. Force your opponent to have to volley, and you'll win a surprising number of points. Now, if you're looking for new people in your local area to play matches against, to practice with, maybe you want to find a league in your area, or you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for Play Your Court, and it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. When your opponent comes to the net in singles, make them hit a ball. Don't avoid them, involve them in the point. If you do, there's no doubt you're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.